Happy Magic Monday. This is Virgo Queen, your transformation coach, using the tools of astrology, tarot, sound healing, and ritual, connecting you back to your magic and cosmic self. Now, this is my weekly cosmic forecast for the collective consciousness for August 6th to August 12th, 2018. This week we also have a powerful new moon solar eclipse in Leo and are still integrating that incredible full moon in Aquarius energy. So I like to begin speaking first to the moon cycles. Now remember, the moon represents our inner nature, our inner desire, and how we want to reflect the world. And this is a lot of times where horoscopes often don't resonate as much, because sometimes we don't feel a personality. We have emotional archetypes. So this is why paying attention to the moon cycles can really help activate and also allow you to surrender to the energy in the moment. So on this Magic Monday, we start with a moon in Gemini. Gemini is the one that wants to seek information, to discover, to innovate, to explore, and very, a bit more detached from the emotions and capable of wanting to have more fun in life. Gemini really likes to entertain and, in its lighter moments, inspire others. Now, on Tuesday, the moon moves into Cancer until Thursday afternoon. And moon in Cancer, we might be feeling these karmic ties. Cancer really likes to hold on to the past. We're in Mercury retrograde, Mars in retrograde, so many different planets in retrograde, and we're kind of feeling like we're stuck in the past. And we're like, why am I here? Because I've seen the vision, I know the truth, I want to live that, but it's now this place of embodiment, and the subconscious has a powerful effect on how we actually live our life. And when we do ritual, when we put focused intention on these acts of transformation, it still takes time for the cells to regenerate to this new information, to this new light, to this new movement. So Cancer is really looking at letting go of karmic ties, things that no longer serve. So Cancer is really about nourishment. So if you're doing something that doesn't actually nourish you, then this is where you feel like, oh wow, so then I have to let go of that and move in to making more space for your real emotions to guide you. Now, by late afternoon, the moon on Thursday will move into Leo till about Saturday. And it's really nice after that deep Cancerian energy to rise up. So the moon sits in our sacral chakra. And that's where we, attach ourselves to relationships, to the creator, and how we protect ourselves from emotional bullies. And this is where, when this energy is stuck, where we feel this karma. It's very based in the sacral. And so when we have that Leo moon, then we rise up to the heart center. First moving through this life force energy and up out through the heart. So bringing the pains of the past into the heart for healing. And so that's what those days are, really just finding more ways to love yourself, be gentle, be tender during these times of transformation. And then by late afternoon, Saturday to Sunday, we have Virgo. So really wanting to get back into the body, do things that are nourishing, cleansing, detoxing, getting out in nature and listening to the bigger self. So this is a beautiful week, especially because we have this powerful new moon. So I want to talk a little bit first what the tarot has guided us and is revealing about this week's energy. So the first card represents the overall energy of the week, which is reverse Daughter of Wands. So before a big opening, there's usually a lot of resistance to the change. And so there's kind of a feeling of being blocking your inhibition. So if you feel very passionate, usually you're very passionate, inspiring, you are excited about all these new projects, what you want to do, what you want to give, but there's this block. And sometimes this comes from, lack of confidence or a lack of trust. And it's really just allowing yourself to do those little acts of magic where, for instance, if you want to write a book, instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to go and write all day, and if I do it for a week, I'll be finished. And every day things come up and get you out of that pattern, and you have to look at the reality of what it takes to make a creation and just having an everyday discipline towards what you want to manifest. And that's what that's really showing. Instead of it being overpowering, say, I can't do this, you need to go back to the heart. And is this something that I really need to accomplish in this life? Is this something that feeds my soul's an expression of my soul? If it's yes, then schedule it. Make a plan for success, and it shall be done. If no, then move on. The challenge for the week is reverse Fool. So this whole week is in this Leo energy, and Leo is about living from the heart, creating our heart's desires, really becoming the artist, the one that expresses and changes the world by merely embodying his art and his expressions. And this is what the Fool is really about. When reverse Fool shows that this energy is wanting to be released, that you want to take a risk. And maybe that in wanting to take a risk by acting too soon and not waiting for the right time, or waiting for when, instead of forcing things to happen the way you want it to happen, which is very stubborn, which is also very Leo, and not listening to others and being arrogant, then you just need to also just stop and really ask the project, ask what needs to be created. How long will this take? Like, how can I honor this process together? Our creative self is a archetype. It is a personality. It's like having a friend, and we need to honor that friendship and have time for that. So that's going to be the challenge, is kind of being impatient and naively going into the unknown impatiently. Going into the unknown with impatience can cause disaster. The Fool gets lost and way off of his path, which obviously the Fool will return. We all do, but there's a way that maybe it didn't need to be that difficult. So if you really just kind of stop and really talk and really build your relationship with the creative self, I feel that would help you settle with this very fiery, passionate energy. Now, the solution for this reading is another powerful card of Justice. And I feel like this new moon in Leo is really awakening to our karmic path. Now, there's so many interpretations of karma, and the more I research it, the more there's new meanings and interpretations. But it's really about, where have you been off balance? What deed have you felt that was done by you that needs a new perspective. And this simply means that we've all need to experience our lightness and our darkness. And it's not about eliminating darkness, and it's not about having overpowering lightness that you can't even see the dark. It's about merging them together, and when they come together, they make this incredible rainbow, magical colors all together. And it's the color of non-judgment, of rainbows, that we are all one. And this justice card really shows about being part of that natural balance, of the karmic balance that exists between nature and humans, that exists between what is in us and what is out in the world. It is an alchemical force that is emerging and that is asking for a desperate change. I'm talking about on every level, emotional levels, mental levels, society, government, everything. Everything is shifting and changing. Don't you feel it? And this new moon in Leo is about what world are we creating? And what do we need to bring back to balance? And what do we need to follow? Oh, right, our hearts. We need to get back to living from our heart. And this is truly the message of this new moon in Leo. And everyone has a different interpretation of what it means to live through the heart. Because we have a lot of heart's desires, and then we put them out in the world, and sometimes we don't achieve them in the way we wanted it to. But the more experience you have and the more acts of faith and trust that you experience, the bigger that world becomes, where you start seeing that every act is an act of love. That is an act of support towards your greater good. When something big and what you thought was wonderful is now gone, it's making space. And this also is this energy of, this is also a solar eclipse energy. It's partial, but it still has that power. And so it's really, a lot of endings and new beginnings will be experienced. And it's all part of a surrender back to the balance of nature. Speaking of which, I would like to speak to you of the goddess of the week. Her name is Cordelia, and she says, "Go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air." It's so interesting right now. It's so hot where I am, and I really want to be outside and in the trees. And these past 2 days with this Saturn aspect, I'm just like, I am staying in my beautiful apartment. And I've been working on the inside so I can get ready to go outside. So this is what she says. "Being cooped up is not the natural way of inhabitants of the exciting planet to live. Believe me, there's plenty to see and experience when you exit your four walls and roof. A daily venture outside will not only revive your spirit and soul, it will give you hope and faith in this planet's very existence and future. You'll see all of the goodness that's in store within nature. The flowers ready to unfurl, the leaves that are sprouting, the birds that hop about, and even the wind that affectionately caresses you. Don't let another day go by without stepping outdoors into this most entertaining and exciting of environments." Thank you, Cordelia. I am listening. I hope everyone else is listening. I know it's hot around the planet, but we need to show her we can take it. So, Cordelia is a Celtic fairy goddess. Helps watch over the flowers that bloom in the spring and summertime. She's associated with the ancient sacred day Beltane, which is celebrated on May 1st to welcome the Celtic summer season. call upon Cordelia to help you thaw out any situation or relationship that seems cold and dreary. Now, I know a lot of people have been going through relationship issues lately, and it's always nice during these new moons to really talk about the issues that are coming up and to let go of maybe some misunderstandings. It's been Mercury retrograde. I think we've been misunderstanding each other and over really small, silly things or huge, big, life-changing things. So it's really clear to just take time to look at each other, to spend time with each other, and just express what's from your heart. And that's how you can find the truth. Speaking of which, the Gaia card for this week is Reveal Your Truth. Oh, I love how it all just synchronized, my dears. Okay, so reveal your truth. When you were born, your soul shone bright. As you grew, you were taught of right and wrong. You were taught how to think, how to live, how to believe in a way that makes you fearful to say no. To disagree is to risk alienation from family and society, and so you hide your true thoughts and feelings behind a mask. That mask hides your light. Cast it aside. Embrace and live your truth, and let your soul shine once more. And I'll just say it again, dear collective consciousness, that the lion is the expression of our truth. And because in truth is where our creativity lies. Remember that. When you go throughout your day not feeling as if you lived, you need to start noticing all these moments of creativity. Because creativity is what will heal our souls so we can get back into nature and restore our medicine and restore our souls. Until then, blessed, blessed, blessed be. And if you want your own personal weekly forecast reading, you can contact me at inner-doorways.com or at innerdoorways@gmail.com. Until then, have a magical week.